everyone, and welcome to my August book haul. As always, I have a ton of books. I bought quite a few books this month. What else is new? I received a lot of books this month. What else is new? Let's just dive right on into the haul because there's a lot of them I don't know much about, so I just want to throw that out there for a disclaimer. I'm going to try to do my best, but as always, I'm sure there's going to be a few books that I just genuinely do not know a ton about. I want to start out with the books that I bought this month. I bought 4 books. Well, I actually bought way more than that, but I bought my son a lot of books. If you guys ever want to see like a book haul with all of my son's books, I would love to share that because he loves books just as much as I do. But either way, the books that I bought this month, the first one is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. After reading Evelyn Hugo, I immediately went to read all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, and I bought 2 of them to just kind of see how I feel. But I bought 2 that really interest me the most, and I've heard a lot of really good things about. I love the cover of this one. This is all about this woman named Emma who marries her high school sweetheart Jesse. They travel the world together. Emma is a freelance writer. Jesse is a production assistant on nature documentaries. And then on their first wedding anniversary, Jesse is on an assignment in some islands and his helicopter goes missing over the Pacific. Just like that, he's gone forever. So obviously Emma is very devastated. She doesn't know how to go on with her life. So Emma quits her job and moves home in order to put her life back together. Years later, now in her 30s, they get married in their 20s. Yes, anywhere from 5 to 15 years after Jesse disappears, she runs into an old friend named Sam. She finds herself falling in love again. And then Sam and Emma get engaged. Everything's going well. It's her second chance of happiness because she was so devastated when Jesse went missing. And then all of a sudden, Jesse is found alive. She's at a crossroads because she has a husband and a fiance. So this book is all about, you know, what do you do when that happens? I mean, this is an insane predicament. I could see it happening. It probably has happened, but goodness, I can't wait to read it. It sounds like it's going to be really intense, but I'm very, very excited to read this one. I'm hoping to read it soon. And the other Taylor Jenkins Reid book I got is Maybe Another Life. A lot of people have recommended this to me, and this is about a girl that's this is a girl named Hannah Martin who, at the age of 29, which is my age exactly, she still has no idea what she wants to do with her life. Basically, this book is choices. So it says it's past midnight when Gabby asks Hannah, that's her friend, if she's ready to go. And then a guy offers her to give her a ride later if she wants to stay. Hannah hesitates. What happens if she leaves with Gabby? What happens if she leaves with Ethan? So this book is told in concurrent storylines with that one decision, I believe. So basically we have 2 different narratives, storylines going on, whether if she takes this one choice, that's the road that her life's going to go on, or if she takes this other choice, that's the road that her life's going to go on. So this is very, very interesting. It says, how much is our lives determined by chance? And perhaps the most compellingly, is there such a thing as a soulmate? Sounds really intriguing. I mean, I don't know why I have not read any of her books before because they sound 100% up my alley, like a chick lit type of atmosphere with a little bit deeper meanings and things like that. Totally me. So I need to read these ASAP, and all of her books. If you've read her books, let me know which ones should I read next after these because I will be reading these very, very soon. Speaking of chick lit, another book I got is Good Luck Charm by Helena Hunting. This is about Lila and Ethan leaves her to focus on his hockey career, and then he comes back years later and he thinks they could just pick off right where they left off, and Ethan wants his glory days back of when he was really good at hockey. And basically, I think Lila is his good luck charm. So when Lila is by Ethan's side, he wins all the games, he does all of the right things, and Lila is starting to feel like, he's only with me because, I'm his lucky charm. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not expecting much out of this other than a chick lit time. I buy chick lit books every now and then just to keep on my shelf for a rainy day. When I am just kind of in a funk, especially with reading, I automatically always pick up a chick lit, and it helps me out so much. So that is what I'm hoping this one does. So it might live on my TBR shelf for a little bit of time until I need that chick lit in my life to lift me up. And the last book I bought is First and Then by Emma Mills. This is a YA contemporary book, which has an amazing cover. Emma Mills also wrote Foolish Hearts, which I read last year, and I really enjoyed it. This one I don't know much about. It says Pride and Prejudice meets Friday Night Lights in this compelling novel about falling in love. Friday Night Lights. If you haven't watched that show, what are you doing? Watch it. Tim Riggins. That's all I'm going to say to you. Just seriously go watch it. And Connie Britton in it is amazing. just watch it. You're not going to be disappointed, trust me. This is about her meeting several guys. I'm just going to go with the Pride and Prejudice meets Friday Night Lights, and that's what I'm going to go into it thinking as. So, again, with kind of like good luck charm, I just also buy some live contemporaries, especially this one. This one's been out a few years, so I just buy them to like keep on my shelves for when I'm in the mood, which is a lot. Now that's all the books I bought for August. There's gonna be a lot of books I buy in September because there's a lot of releases and it's my birthday month, so I'm just gonna go a little bit crazy. So I had to keep it manageable this month. So now moving on to the books that I received from publishers. See from Simon & Schuster, and that is the movie tie-in edition of To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I'm sure you guys have heard this has been a Netflix movie now. I've already reviewed it, so you can check that out right here. I love the movie. It was so like quintessential John Hughes 80s, and I love the Asian American representation, and just everything about it was just so freaking adorable. I can't get over it. And it has blown up. Like, I thought this movie was gonna be viewed by like a few. I thought, you know, it's gonna be big in the book community because we all were rooting for it. We're very happy about it. But I didn't think it would get to the point where it's gotten to. Like, Netflix has recognized that this is a huge hit and people are crazy about it. So I'm very, very happy about it. Like, people have made accounts dedicated to Peter Kaminsky. Netflix alone has said, like, this is a Peter Kaminsky stan account. Like, it's insanity. So a lot of people are really rooting for this book and this movie because it's a beautiful, cute, adorable book, and I'm happy that a lot of other people are experiencing it for the first time. And I've heard that it's been selling out in Barnes and Nobles and things like that, which is so amazing. I'm so happy for Jenny Han, not only because I love her books, but because she's also a Virginia girl. She was born in Richmond, which is not too far from me. So I have one from Penguin, and that is A Map of Days. This is the 4th novel of Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series by Ransom Riggs. I read the very first one, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I don't love it. It's a very well-loved series. It's just not my taste. It's very dark, but it's very whimsical, which I do enjoy, but I just didn't love it. So I don't think I'll be reading this, so I might do a giveaway for this book because it's so beautiful and it has photographs in it, as always, because that's what kind of Ransom Riggs is known for, with the creepy photographs, which he has found in thrift stores or things like that. So I might be doing a giveaway for this one because I don't honestly plan to read it. I know it's sad, but I'm trying to be realistic. I got from Simon & Schuster The Geography of Lost Things by Jessica Brody. I love this cover. This is a YA contemporary about a girl named Allie who gets she gets her dad's prized possession when he passes away. It's a 1968 Firebird convertible. I don't know much about cars, but I know that's a nice car. Like, I would drive that car. That she won't keep it, not when it reminds her too much of all of her father's unfilled promises, and especially not when a buyer 300 miles up the Pacific coast is offering enough money for the car to save her childhood home from foreclosure. So basically, she has to drive this thing up the Pacific coast, and she doesn't know how to drive a stick shift, so she's like, crap, what do I do? Her ex-boyfriend Nico does. So it's about a road trip, and those are some of my favorite books to read about a road trip, especially ones up the Pacific coast. I think that would be amazing. I love that. I can't wait to read this. I'm planning to read this very, very soon. Super, like, it just sounds like a YA contemporary right up my alley. Baker Books, they sent me a finished copy of I'd Rather Be Reading The Delights and Dilemmas of the Reading Life by Anne Bogle. So Anne Bogle has created also the creator of Modern Miss Darcy, which I think is a blog, and she's also behind the podcast I Read Next, which I still am planning to listen to. I'm so behind with podcasts right now. It's ridiculous. I've heard really good things about it. This is just a really short book, and it's very beautiful. I think it might replace my little woman back there as my backdrop. But it's just about, you know, the delights and dilemmas of a reader, which I cannot wait to read. It's going to be a quick read. It's only like 150 pages. A few of the chapters, just so you know, like Confess Your Literary Sins, Hooked on a Story, How to Organize Your Bookshelves, Bookworm Problems. I mean, I think a lot of us can relate to this book. I know this one comes out very, very soon, so be sure to look out for it because it sounds like just a... Then I have Dry by Neal Shusterman and Jared Shusterman. This is a dystopian YA novel, which Neal Shusterman is kind of known for best, and it's about a drought. And basically in this time, which I think is very, very current to this time now, especially, like, I don't have droughts where I live because honestly it rains a ton, but I know in other parts of the US, droughts are really a problem, very scary. Like, it gets, you know, they have to do things like they have to time their showers, they have to not water their lawns at all, they have to be very, like, conscientious of water usage. So that's what this book is all about. And then basically the tap runs dry. There's no more water to be had and chaos ensues from there. Very, very excited for this one because I love New York series. It's just so realistic and futuristic all at the same time. So super excited for this one. It comes out in October, I believe, and I bet you it's probably going to wow me because that's what New Schusterman really does best for me. Then I have My Almost Flawless Tokyo Dream Life by Rachel Kahn. This is about I don't know much about this one, honestly. I know it's about a girl named Elle who discovers her long-lost father, Kenji, is actually a Japanese hotel mogul and wants her to come live with him. So basically she goes to Tokyo and lives, and then she meets her family that she really doesn't know a lot about, and she starts to crush on the new boy. Flawless Tokyo Dream Life is about learning what it is to be a family and finding the inner strength to be yourself even in the most extreme circumstances. So that's great. I really wanted to read this because I haven't read too many books that take place in Tokyo. The only ones that I can think of that I think take place in Tokyo is Warcross by Marie Lu. But even that, it wasn't so much about Tokyo, it was more about the virtual reality world. So I really want to read more worldly things like get out of the US. I definitely want to check out this book that's about Tokyo and Japan, so super excited for this one, and it just sounds adorable, and the cover is super adorable as well. I have one from William & Morrow, and they sent me a finished copy of Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. Karen Slaughter is a very well-known thriller novelist, and I have not read a single one of her books because her books kind of frighten me. Like, I think I would put her along the same lines of Gillian Flynn. I have tried reading 2 Gillian Flynn books. They both kind of scared me out. Like, both freaked me out. I don't know what it is. Like, I think like I like some scary things, but then if it's like really too realistic or too out there, like I'm like, I can't do this. So that's what I have not read either of their books. But this one, I'm going to read it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to power through it. This is actually signed by her too. I didn't even notice that. It says, Dear Reader, have you ever looked at the person you know best in the world and wondered what really lies beneath the surface? Whether what you see is generally what you get. I've always been fascinated by the secrets and lies that underpin our lives. And so that's the question Pieces of Her asks. Can you ever know anybody completely? It's freaking cool. I think if that's Karen Slaughter's, I think that's awesome. I'm going to keep that forever. So this is about Andrea, who thinks she knows everything about her mother. Mother, hero, liar, killer. How can you tell when all you have is pieces of her? This one I want to go into blind. I don't want to know too much about it. I just know it's about Andrea, and she thinks she knows her mom, but she really doesn't. It happened in this book. I'm planning to read this in October because I'm going to read all the spooky things in October. So thank you so much, William Morrow. I have this really awesome book from Cork, and it is Paperback Crush. And this is the totally radical history of the 80s and 90s teen fiction. So this is obviously a cover of The Babysitter's Club. I didn't read too much of The Babysitter's Club. I watched it, but this is basically about all the publishing. Like Sweet Valley High was very popular in the 80s. Like it's all about the publishing industry, particularly with these type of books. I didn't read a lot of these books, I don't feel like. That's awesome. It's just a really, like, if you're really an 80s or 90s fan and you just want a glimpse into publication in that time, especially with kind of teen books and young adult books, I'd highly recommend checking this out. Like, I love it. It's so floppy, too. I love those. Got a big old stack of books that St. Martin's Press so kindly sent me. The first book they sent me that I'm most excited about is Anonymous by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. They also wrote The Wife Between Us, which I really enjoyed. Not a lot of people like that thriller book, but I liked it a lot, maybe because I'm such a novice thriller reader that I don't know. But this one is, it's not a sequel, but it's just by them again. I don't know much about this. All books they sent me have like these little dust jacket things, but there's not a lot of information about them, so all of them I'm kind of going into blind. This one I have no clue about, like none what it's about. It's just ominous, devious, curious, desirous, suspicious, dangerous, malicious, murderous, anonymous. That's all I know about it. And that's okay, especially with thriller books. I just want to go into it not knowing much. This one comes out in January, so feeling very, very lucky to have this. Then they sent me a whole slew of other ones. They sent me The Wartime Sisters by Linda Cohen Logman, and this comes out in January. Again, I don't know much about it. I'm guessing it's historical. On the back it says, in the vein of The Nightingale. Love The Nightingale, and The Lilac Girls. I did not read that, but my friend did. She loved it. Comes a novel of World War II brought to life in the eyes of two extraordinary sisters on a quest for independence, love, and second chances. So sometimes our greatest battles are the ones fought closest to home. So either way, it sounds like a historical novel. If it's kind of like The Nightingale, I'm sold. One is The Rain Watcher by Tatiana de Rosnay. This one again, I think this one comes out in October. This one is a domestic drama set in Paris, and it's about a family that gathers to celebrate a birthday and an anniversary, and their hidden fears and secrets slowly start to ravel as the City of Light undergoes a stunning natural disaster, and it's themed through the eyes of the photographer, the youngest son of this family. So it sounds very interesting, a domestic drama, so that sounds awesome as well. Then I have The Dream Daughter by Diana Chamberlain. I have read one of her books before. I did like it. This one, again, don't know much about. A novel that belongs on the same shelf as The Time Traveler's Wife. Have not read it, watched it, saw my eyes out on The Lovely Bones. Have read that. Books that open readers' minds from the impossible to the possible. So, on the front it says, "To my daughter, you don't know me yet. You don't know how long I've wanted you and longed for you. You may never know me. I don't know if I can ever find my way back to you, and if I do, I might be nothing but a stranger to you. But there's one thing that will never change. I will always be your mother." So I'm guessing this is going to be kind of like The Time Traveler's Wife, with the, instead of like a love interest, it's going to be about a mother and daughter. And it's going to tear me up probably, but I'm going to check it out. This one comes out in October. And last one they sent me also comes out in October, and it's The Little Shop of Found Things by Paula Braxton. This one is an antique shop haunted by a ghost, a silver treasure with a troubled history, an adventure back in time we'll never forget. And it takes place in 1605, so that's pretty back in time. And it's about a girl that, you know, has her shop haunted by a ghost. And I think it's not scary, but it's got that setting to it. So either way, I'm very, very excited for all of those. Okay, moving on quickly still. I have another one from William Morrow. This is Another Woman's Husband by Gil Paul. This one's interesting in the fact that it's told in 1997 when Princess Diana died, and she died, you know, in a car crash in a tunnel. And it's basically about these people that were behind the car crash, like a few cars behind her. And it's about who finds an engraved heart pendant in this car wreck of Princess Diana. That takes her back, like in time, like she researches about the pendant and things like that. It takes her back to 1911 so it's kind of like not about Princess Diana, but it's got that linkage to it, which and this sounds very intriguing to me. Like, I definitely want to check this one out. For Freeform books, I have Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is Never Trust a Debutante. This is about 18-year-old Sawyer who did not expect her grandmother to show up at her apartment door and offer her a 6-figure contract to participate in debutante season. And then she accepts because that's a lot of money. I think she discovers about the debutantes and about her family and things like that. It sounds like just kind of a fun YA contemporary book, which I am always in the mood for. I have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Camara. This is from Bloomsbury. This is a modern day retelling in a contemporary setting of Beauty and the Beast, which I am so excited for. I know there's a lot more to it, but I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm just going to tell you it is a modern day retelling in a contemporary setting of Beauty and the Beast. And it is freaking long. This is like 500 pages. So it says, fall in love, break the curse, save the kingdom. Super excited for this one. It does not come out till January. So I'm feeling very lucky I got all these January books. And the last book I got sent to me from a publisher is Don't Call Me Crazy. 33 Voices Start the Conversation About Mental Health, and it has all of these authors in it, and it's literally 33 conversations about mental health and what it means for each of these different authors, whether they dealt with it or they were experiencing it and things like that. So what does it mean to be crazy? Is using the word crazy offensive? What happens when a label like that gets attached to your everyday experiences? So this is a book all about mental health, which I think is amazing, and we need more books like that. So very, very excited to have this one. Algonquin sent this to me, so thank you so much to Algonquin. Lastly, I'm going to fly through these quickly because I know this is a very lengthy video. I have my books I got in book boxes. So first up, I have Greyson Fury by Tracy Banghart. I got my Owl Crate box. This is about two sisters that lead very, very different lives in this fantastical setting, but they're both fighting for the same thing. Like, one's in a kingdom, one's like kind of suffering on an island, and then they come together to kind of like fight together. Then in my uppercase and unicorn crate box, I'm doing a giveaway, by the way, for both of these right here. So be sure to check that out on my Instagram probably now. There's a giveaway. You can win one of these in one giveaway. Of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is a new series told in the same world as her Kiss of Deception series, told in the world of Remnant. I have not read her Kiss of Deception series, so I feel bad, but it's about a whole bunch of people coming together, and when outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game A cat and mouse game of false move ensues, bringing them instantly together in a battle that may cost them their lives. So that's all I know about it. It sounds very intriguing. The cover alone, so freaking stunning. Fox by Nadine Brandis. I don't remember what box this came in, and this might be the July, actually, Unicorn Crate box. I may have gotten this in and I just got it late. So it's a retelling, but I don't know what it is a retelling of. It says Thomas Fawkes is turning to stone, and the only cure to the stone plague is to join his father's plot to assassinate the King of England. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. Sounds freaking amazing. Then in my Once Upon a Book Club box, I got Space Between by Dee Meserve. This is kind of a mystery about a wife that goes missing and her husband and son have to find her. Scribbler box, I got Contagion by Aaron Bowman. This is a YA sci-fi series about an outbreak that happens and they don't know why it's happened, and basically that's all I know about it. And there you have it. Those are all the books that I have to share with you guys today. It's a lot. As always, it's a lot. Anyway, if you have read or heard of any of these books, please let me know your thoughts and opinions. Again, like I said, be sure to check out my Instagram. I'll leave the handle right here for a giveaway. Check them out because, you know, giveaways, fun stuff, right? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.